Hey, tennis fans, I'm Mike McIntyre, and you are tuned in to Matchpoint Canada, the official podcast of Tennis Canada. Today, I'm excited to welcome a Canadian tennis player who's a Billie Jean King Cup champion. This past season, she qualified for her first Grand Slam main draw at Wimbledon, won her first main draw match at the NBO, and more recently won her first WTA event in Mexico. And she's in the process of pushing her ranking ever so close to the top 100 in the world. Marina Stakusic, welcome back to Matchpoint Canada.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's great to see you again. I want to ask right off the bat, how is the shortest off season in all of sports treating you so far?
Yeah, it was definitely way too short. After coming back from Spain, the Billie Jean King Cup, I had about a week, and that's about it. Then I had to get back on court with Mr. Robert Steckley. So
That's just so
yeah,
remarkable to me. Like, and I know we say this to every
I know.
tennis player we talk to at this time of the year, but like you literally are playing and practicing and training for 51 weeks of the year. I mean, is that not
Yeah.
just like
Uh,
madness or what?
yeah, it's insane. There's 1 week off that I had this year after Wimbledon. I had 7 days of just like no tennis at all, and then after Billie Jean King Cup. So 2 weeks out of 52 weeks in the year off. It's crazy. Like the whole schedule is insane. Yeah, I don't even know what to say about that
And
anymore.
and and like you're
That
just
is
getting
insane.
going with your pro career too. Just wait till you've been
Yeah.
doing this for like 10 years and see how it feels then, right?
I know. I don't know how it's gonna feel in 10 years from now, but we'll see.
I'm curious because, and I'm sure many of our listeners and viewers would sort of wonder, like, why don't tennis players take a little bit longer? Like, why couldn't you take 2 or 3 weeks off? What is the mindset or the rationale that makes it such a short window for you?
Honestly, I think it's just the way that like the schedule is like planned out and like the whole format and just because there's tournaments all year round. So like, people who are lower ranked, this is just what I think. Like
Yeah,
they might want to keep playing in December. They might want to, I think it's just the entire format schedule. I feel like it would be good if it can change a little bit and for us to have a longer off season because it's kind of ridiculous, I think, in my perspective, it's a very tough sport. You're on the road all the time. It would make sense in my eyes for there to be a bit of a longer preseason, but I think it's just the way that the ATP and WTA work and the whole scheduling and I don't know if that'll ever change, but
I mean,
it is what it is.
it's tough on us podcast hosts too because we can't take a break because the matches
Yeah,
start up so soon. But I don't
exactly.
know, maybe like tennis players just need to all decide, hey, we're all going to agree to like take it easy for like 3 weeks at least, you know?
Yeah.
And because it is so competitive, and I feel like, yeah, players are itching to get going to get a competitive edge
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
everyone else out there. And if you stop for 2 or 3 weeks, no one else is going to do it. So it
People
just
are
puts you
still
behind.
going.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
think the only way is if like everybody unanimously stops and WTA and ATP can't really do anything and that's it. You like
yeah.
nobody's playing and
It'll
nobody but
it'll never
there's
happen.
always gonna be those people who are like, if I can only get a few more points this week, if I
That's
can go.
right.
So I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
Don't get your hopes up. Yeah.
No.
Well,
No.
hey, at least you're young and you can physically hack it, or at least I'd like
Yeah.
to think that you
Yeah.
can. Wait till you're my age. But
Thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode of Matchpoint Canada. If you'd like to follow along every week, give us a like below. Hit the subscribe button as we're trying to make 15,000 subs.
you just kind of celebrated a sort of a milestone birthday. So happy belated 20th
Thank
birthday
you.
to you. How did that feel going from those teenage years to now being in your 20s? Was that tough for you or what?
Um, I mean, I don't think it hit me until like my actual birthday that like I'm in my 20s now. I don't really like the sound of that. But yeah, I mean it's good. It's not much has like changed really. Nothing has changed. I'm still the same person doing this exact same thing every day, waking up, playing tennis. Nothing else
Same,
has changed.
same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, look, me and Steckley would trade places with you in a heartbeat if we could, okay, and be that age. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, let's look back at 2024 for you because this is going to be one of our final episodes of this season. And, you're one of those players that we've followed closely for the last few years, and it's been really great to see all the success that you've had. You've taken some big steps forward, obviously. What are some of maybe you could share a couple of positives from this past season and also a couple of challenges that you've sort of had to overcome or face?
Yeah, I think one like big thing that I learned and I took away from this year is to just try and enjoy everything as much as possible. Because tennis is basically just waking up and repeating the same thing every single day. So you might as well enjoy it. I think that's like for sure the biggest thing that I took away from this year. And yeah, some of the challenges were just me probably putting too many expectations on myself, seeing how last year went, the end of the year, I had some good results, and I kind of put into my head too quickly, like, oh, I need to reach a certain ranking, I need to reach whatever result that I wanted to reach instead of just focusing on the process and trusting the process and all the work that I was doing. So we were working a lot on that, just having a clear mindset on what goals I want to achieve with my game rather than result oriented goals.
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, saying trusting the process is one thing, and then doing it is another, I suppose, as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
And I like the positives that you're talking about too. And I think not just for tennis players, but for anyone to sort of slow things down and enjoy what you're doing. Because, like, yeah, when you think about a professional tennis career, 10 years, 15 years, whatever it is, it's
yeah,
pretty short in the overall scheme of life, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Let's talk about what I think is certainly one of the high points for the season for you is that big title you got recently in Mexico, and I'm so impressed with the timing of it as well. And wouldn't every player love to end their season with a title like
Yeah,
that? So the timing is obviously pretty good, but you didn't
yeah.
have the easiest swing through Asia either leading up to that. So what was it that really clicked for you when you got to Mexico to put all that together?
Um, well, we were actually little backstory. We were planning on going to Asia, staying there throughout the whole Asian swing, so till the end of the last Asian tournament. But then last minute we had some changes, ended up going to Mexico. Um, and I did have some losses in Asia. I had like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 losses in a row. Um, but yeah, I mean, we ended up going to Mexico and just I think the daily work and the routines that we were having and just the consistency of all the work that we were doing for the last few weeks kind of clicked into that week and something happened. I don't know what it was, but I was I just mentally I was calmer. I was uh I guess I used all that work that we've been putting in the last few weeks, even though I didn't get the results the last few weeks, but I think what I'm very like proud of myself for is that after a long trip like that, one of the last tournaments I was able to push through, even through qualies and win the tournament. So yeah, I mean, we were really happy about that week. It was extremely positive week for me. Yeah, I mean, it was great.
Super impressive. At what point when you're going through a tournament like that, do you think to yourself, I don't know if it creeps into your mind or not, but do you start thinking, hey, like, wait a minute, I've got a shot at something special here. Like, at what moment does that do you allow or do thoughts like that sort of, come to be?
Yeah, for sure they come. I think for me that week it was probably after I won the quarters. I was like, oh my God, this is, I think it was even like my first maybe semis of the season. So
Hmm.
I was like, oh, I think I have a chance at this. But I was trying to like, not think about that too much, just focus on one match at a time. I think that's what helped me too a lot. But yeah, for sure, after I won the quarters, I was like, okay, I think I could actually win this tournament. Now I gotta like focus.
Does that place hold a special sort of spot for you now? It's funny because I feel like Mexico has given some Canadians some pretty big moments. Like Leila
Yes,
Annie
yeah.
Fernandez had some good tournaments there too when she was a little bit younger. Um, does that make you want to go back to a place like that or play more tournaments? And I don't know if it's the conditions or does it just make you more, I don't know, feel more of a connection to that locale?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, over there in Mexico, the fans are like super like involved and they get
Yeah.
intense and it's fun to play in front of them. For some reason, the Mexican fans like me there. Even when I played in Guadalajara, I had like the whole stadium cheering for me. So it's always nice to go back to places like that. For sure, I'm gonna try and go back there. The conditions I liked, even though it was extremely humid at
Mm.
times where we played in Tampico, but yeah, just the whole atmosphere there was nice and I'd love to go back for sure.
I'm going to ask you a question that my co-host Ben Lewis, who couldn't be here today, is going to roll his eyes when I ask because I love asking this for some reason. I think it's because I didn't get many trophies growing up in sports, okay? I got a few hockey ones, but that's about it. Where does this where does this trophy go? Have you got like a special place for it? You know, is it up on a shelf? What's the resting spot
Yeah,
for it?
actually, it's kind of embarrassing right now. So we're moving houses,
Okay.
and it's just literally in like the bottom of a box
Oh no.
somewhere. Maybe not the bottom. I think I placed it like somewhere. I put it in another box in a box so
Uh-huh.
it doesn't get like ruined or anything.
Good.
But it's just sitting at home. My parents are gonna move it while we're gone in Australia. So yeah, unfortunately, it's just hidden right now. But maybe I'll one day like frame it or put it somewhere
Yeah, you'll have
visible.
to. Yeah. Hey, look, I'll borrow it if you have nowhere else to put it, okay? My kids would love that.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, hopefully you get back from the first part of the season and it's like, right when you walk in
yeah,
somewhere
yeah,
special. That's
yeah,
cool. Hey, of all the places you visited in 2024, I would imagine probably one of the busiest travel years that you've ever had then.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And any city that really kind of captured your attention that you maybe didn't expect to be so cool or a place that you just felt, really comfortable and at home at?
Um, I mean, there were many, honestly, this year that we've been to. I liked earlier this year we went to Lisbon. It was really nice. We did some like sightseeing there. It was super nice. And then I liked Hong Kong. It was pretty nice. Like it was a very busy city, but it was really nice. Lot of action-packed city. Um, it was my first time in Asia this year, so I was able to see Beijing, Wuhan, and a bunch of other places. But I think yeah, Lisbon was really really nice. First time in London as well. So yeah, there were a lot of cool places for sure.
Pretty big year of firsts for you. That's exciting. And
Yeah,
yeah, I think
yeah,
people forget sometimes like you're not just like getting used to being a professional tennis player on the court and all the high ranked players that you're facing, but like yeah, becoming a world traveler and just figuring out
yeah,
all those like day-to-day logistics is
yeah.
also like an added stressor or added responsibility, right?
Yeah, it's true. But it's like I always think about I'm like it's crazy like the lives that tennis players live because I would have never gone to all of these countries if I didn't play tennis. So, I mean, I'm extremely lucky that I can. And I also, with Rob, we actually really do like going and exploring. Sometimes before I wouldn't, I'd just like be hotel site, but now we always make it a like a sort of a priority to go walk around a little bit, see the places because if we're going all the way there, we might as well do some exploring,
Yeah,
like
we've
yeah.
seen the videos on Instagram. So for anyone listening or
Yeah.
watching right now, you got to check out Marina's and Rob's short films that they put together. Is that him driving that one? Is he pushing for that, or how much does he have to
Yeah.
twist your arm to get you to do those things?
Yeah, he has to twist it pretty hard, I think, for most of them. But some of them, I have to give it to him. Some of them are fun, clever, so I'm good with it. It's
Yeah,
fun.
keep them coming. The fans love them for sure. Um, so where's the training happening right now? Now that you're back, you've had your whole 1 week off. By the way, so what did you do for that week? What was a week of no tennis? What's that look like?
A week of nothing at all. I had I was just at home with my family. My sister came back. She actually goes to the University of Miami. So she came back that week too because of American Thanksgiving. So we just like chilled at home. I chilled with my brother, sister, parents. I had my birthday. So it was fun. It was more of a relaxing week. I was like my parents were like, "Do you guys like want to go on vacation somewhere?" I'm like, "Nope.
Just
I'm good.
nothing.
I'll stay home."
I'll bet.
I'm good to stay home. I don't need to go anywhere. But yeah, it was fun. It was good to just be home for a little bit.
That's nice. Do you just block Rob's number for that week so you don't even have to hear from him or what?
I actually didn't. We were still like talking, just
Yeah,
sending funny Instagram reels to each other
that's
as
good.
per usual.
That's great.
Yeah.
So tell us about the training now. You're in Florida. You're working with Rob. You're gearing up for the new season. What's the day-to-day looking like? And you coming home for Christmas or staying down there throughout?
Yeah, I'm staying here. I'm going to Australia from Florida, but Rob's gonna go home for Christmas and then leave a couple days later. But yeah, we came here about a week ago. So today was the last day of the first week of preseason, or second actually, because I did the first one in Toronto. So, but this was the first week here in Florida. Um, yeah, they've been long days, a lot of fitness, especially that's been kind of the priority this week. And tennis, it's been going great. Weather is great. It's fun to be here. Kind of no stress, no tournaments, so it's good. Yeah, it's fun for sure.
So when do you leave for Australia? Is that before or after Christmas then for you?
I leave on the 24th. Yeah.
Okay. So you'll be
Yeah.
like dealing with some major jet lag maybe on Christmas Day.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually, because I'm Orthodox, I celebrate Christmas on January 7th.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you got a
so
little
for
extra
me,
time.
like, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be probably playing Australian Open qualies during that time.
Right.
But yeah, yeah, for sure gonna have some major jet lag when I get there.
What's the plan for the early part of the season? What tournaments can your fans expect to see you at leading up to the Aussie Open? And what do you plan on playing after that finishes, if you know already?
Um, Pretty much all I know right now is I'm gonna be playing Canberra, which is the 125. It starts like the 30th, I believe, of December. And then I'm gonna go straight into qualies of Australian Open. And then, I mean, I guess depending how I do, there's a few options in Asia, Europe. I don't know exactly yet the schedule. We haven't really discussed that yet, but I think it's gonna be a busy few months for sure. I don't think I'm gonna be home for like
For
three
a
months.
while.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I better get packing soon.
Don't forget anything behind.
Yeah.
That's another thing that's funny with the tennis season is it actually starts in like 2024, right? Like
Yeah.
they don't even
Yeah.
wait till
No.
January.
It's crazy. I didn't know like even this year like United Cup is starting on the 23rd.
Right.
Like that is insane to me. Like you can't even have like a normal preseason like training. It's kind of crazy. That's why I was like United Cup is not an option for me this year. It's
Right.
way too early. I need to train more. I need to, have at least a couple weeks to get ready and stuff. So
For sure.
it's crazy. I don't know.
And you're on the cusp of big things, right? Like I'm sure that top 100 in the sport is something that must be on your mind. Maybe you could talk a little bit about what that would mean to you and what other, sort of small or attainable goals you're setting for yourself this year.
Yeah, I mean, top 100 is for sure like the biggest goal. But of course, there are many things that I want to achieve, you know, in my game, like game wise, to get there, to be able to get there, like just improving on my fitness. I think that's number one, getting stronger, more strength in my legs, and then just being able to show up every day consistently with positive attitude. Yeah, I think those are like the two biggest things for me right now.
Right
And
on.
hopefully top 100 will be the outcome
We'll come
of
along
that.
with that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you watch a lot of footage, a lot of tennis footage, like to get, to get to know your competitors a little bit more? I mean, I'm sure you're still in that phase where you're probably playing a lot of players for the first time. So do you
Yeah.
watch a lot of tennis matches? Are you like are you a tennis geek? Like do you like follow the sport closely?
Honestly, I watch a lot of the men's.
Is that
I
right?
like watching the guys. Yeah, I really like watching guys like Djokovic, Alcaraz, Sinner. I love watching them all. Um, but with the girls, Rob usually does the watching before I play them because a lot of these players, like you said, I this was like the first time I've played them, so I don't really know them. So he'd do the YouTube watching, and then
Yeah.
we just discuss about it before I play, and that's it. Yeah.
Is there a particular woman on the tour that you would really love to face? Like, is there one player out there that you're like, oh, I can't wait to see her on the other side of the net?
Probably like Sabalenka or something.
Okay.
I feel like that'd be pretty cool just to see, like, to play against her, feel it out, see what it's like. I mean, she's number one in the world. I'd love to get a chance to play somebody like that for sure.
Absolutely. Well, we'd love to see it. Marina, thank you for taking. I know it's, there's lots going on as you prepare for the season, but you've always been so kind to us on the podcast, and Ben and myself, we really appreciate it,
Thank you.
as well as when Rob takes the time. We'll get to him at some point. He's a little lower down
Yeah.
our list than you, so you can tell him I said that too.
Yeah, I will. Don't worry.
But thanks for taking the time and enjoy the voyage over to Australia. We wish you the best and look
Thank
forward
you.
to catching up with you as well sometime this season.
For sure. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me again.